bigger the operation, the harder the fall. And that's why I run a lean business. Let me give you a little bit of a history of my entrepreneurial journey. Previous business that I had in Florida, I was there for about 15 years, had about 50 employees. But part of the problem that I had with that business is I chose to partner with vendors that limited my growth. Although we had a lot of employees and we were doing a lot of things, it was just about a break-even business. It provided a certain lifestyle that was comfortable, and I had moderate success in Florida. One of the reasons that we had moderate success is the structure that I had. I had a lot of employees. It was harder to manage. We were working for contractors, which also limited the amount of profit that I could get out of a job. I was really restricted to the people that I was working for, and that was a choice I made, and it was just a bad choice. When I had employees, you're constantly monitoring the employees. It's harder to regulate the amount that you're spending on the cost for those employees. It was a very labor-intensive business, so the cost of employees would skyrocket, which would bring the profit down. As I was preparing to start in Colorado, I started to research some of my ideas. I found an organization that had business plans. Shout out to Painting Business Pro. And although I didn't really learn anything new from that program, it confirmed my business plan that I had, which is great, because when you're getting ready to start something, or if you're in the middle of something, you need to research it and try to disprove or prove your ideas. And one of the great things about that program, it gave me a little confidence, like, all right, this is a good idea, this is gonna work. And so I began to pursue those ideas, and it's worked out pretty well. And so you need to know what it is you're going for, so you have a clear target. So setting a goal or just pursuing an idea, try to prove it or disprove it, and that'll help the process of expediting those ventures. We run a lean business because we want to prove out ideas before we try to put a bunch of money behind it. It's much better to have that foundation really laid out so you can scale properly. As a founder, as an owner, I can pivot a lot quicker than an employee will be able to. No one's gonna care as much as I care, and nor should they care. It's not their business. They're not reaping the benefits that I'm going to reap. And you can't outsource the passion that you have. So it's really important that you put high-level people around you, or you're willing to do hard things for an extended period of time to get the things done. I used to get a lot of criticism for working a lot. Had a couple friends be like, oh, you need to enjoy life, blah, blah, blah. Needless to say, those people aren't really around anymore. I'm doing what I love. I love running a business. I love building that foundation and discovering what works and what I need to change. Like I said, you can't outsource the passion. If you're not excited about it, no one else is going to be excited about it. Here's some examples of how I've run a lean business. Do you need a website? Absolutely. Do you need a $10,000 website? No. But do you need to understand what that website should look like or could look like, so as you're building that first iteration of a website, you can build on top of it? I think so. Do you need systems and automations? Well, for the first 5 customers, probably not. You can use a piece of paper or use a spreadsheet. And as you grow and develop, you can develop those systems. In the back of your mind, you can kind of be thinking about what that should look like, because you may create a system that's not even gonna work well because you don't really know exactly what it's gonna look like. So moving slowly and not getting bogged down in the details is useful. Do I need to hire people? Absolutely. But you don't need to hire someone on day one. You know, I've been doing sales for many years. The great thing about sales is when you have a good salesperson, they're gonna do fantastic and they're gonna make you a lot of money. But if you don't have the money to generate the phone calls, to generate the leads, you're not gonna be able to get a good salesperson. You're gonna get an average salesperson. A good salesperson is gonna wanna make a lot of money. And so if you can't generate enough business for them to make a lot of money, you're gonna get an average salesperson. And an average salesperson is not going to help you. So you really need to get to a place where you can hire an excellent salesperson so they can really grow your business, rather than hiring a bad salesperson who's going to bog down the growth of your business. I'm not the most successful, but I am successful. The great thing about keeping things lean is you can grow quickly and you can build a good foundation. It may feel like you're moving kind of slow, but that foundation takes a minute to get in place. I keep a lot of things lean. I keep the activities that I do. I keep the people that I hang out with. I keep the people that I hire. I try to keep it lean so I can move quickly and make adjustments. I love to learn. And one of the great things about this season is that there's a lot of learning because you're really working on getting that foundation set. If you've hired some people that you shouldn't have hired, if you've moved too quickly or you've skipped over some steps, don't be afraid to back up and start over on some of those areas. You're gonna have to start over eventually, so you might as well do it now before you get too far along and it's a little bit easier. It's always uncomfortable to let people go or to change directions, but sometimes it's just necessary. Don't get lost in trying to scale when you really need to grow. Your systems should scale to meet your demand. Don't try to build systems to meet a demand that isn't there.